Yeah.
All right, let's get started. Jen. Confirmation, we got all that stuff. Right?
Everybody's here, except for, Monica, who I think's out of town. And, Denny Palmer's, probably working
Probably
today.
working.
Yes, it's not.
Gus is right here.
He's on Zoom.
He's right here.
I got, hey, it didn't rain yet.
No.
The hurricane from Texas is coming your way.
All right. Minutes,
Yep.
board, financials, you have all that.
Yep.
Accounts receivable.
The reason we show 2 months there is we really, the June meeting was before the Mays were,
Yeah.
available.
Yeah.
But the June's cumulative anyway. So.
Right.
My question is, I got regular payment of my association dues.
Yeah.
And we had, it only charged me $100 for one of the comments.
Yeah, it's on the agenda here, John.
Oh, it is, okay, I just wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
that's been covered. 'Cause-
Not been covered yet, but we'll talk about it.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm so sorry, it was in the financial issues, that's all.
No, it's a good reason to do it. Yeah. That's sort of a good time, but it is down under new business.
Legal issues, we have all that. Old business.
The only thing I'll say about the units with legal issues is that I've had to turn 3 accounts into the attorney for collection. And it's been a long time since we've had to do this, but we're getting some people that are getting a little bit farther behind than would normally happen. As it turns out, I gave all 3 of them till last Friday before we turn it in. And they all said they'd be here, but one did show up yesterday, so we canceled him with the attorney, but we still have 2 with the attorney, and I'll have that for the report.
Even though we didn't have a May meeting, we'll still put those financials for both months.
Yeah, they'll be in my report, yes.
Good. Old business. Second floor.
All right, we got a few issues going with them, and we're meeting with the painter tomorrow. Some of the work I think is not up to the standard that we expect, and so we're gonna go over those issues. We had, the biggest problem has been the removal of the tiles and the poly pebbles and that kind of stuff, but, and in taking off some of the tiles, there's been some disintegration of the, cement walkway corner itself. And we may have to rebuild one in itself, 811, where it comes down and the step comes. When they took the tile off, just disintegrated. So it could be a very dangerous situation.
Are we finding a lot of issues with wood, rotten wood in there?
No,
Fix all the wood.
That was fixed when on
Part of the
first phase
underneath
the
work.
project. Yeah.
Are we working on a wood project with stairways? I have one with my neighbors who's got an issue with a spongy stairway.
Yeah, who is that? Is that
That's,
Lori?
Lori, yeah.
Yeah, Lori talked to me and we've got going in
I
there.
just want to make sure she
Yeah,
had been
yeah,
setting
I've
up-
already talked to Lori.
Excellent.
So that's an ongoing, I mean, we
Yeah,
get a
yeah,
step
if
call.
anybody has any issues with steps, just work order and
Great.
get Jim to replace.
Yeah, and steps and handrails get priority because there's potential danger.
Electrical repairs.
Sorry, quick question.
Okay.
Are we still on, my area is still on for finishing the repairs there? They kind of got to a point and then stopped.
Yeah, there is, yes, there is, and I've yet to see it, but they rebuilt your neighbors. So,
Oh, 612.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so. So,
yeah. It needs to be repainted.
oh, yeah,
There's just a-
oh, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick, before you move on, just to thought, is there a schedule somewhere? Because my neighbors are asking me, theirs haven't been up since. Is there a schedule posted somewhere or where? Or is it
try to
like
make
your
it a
list?
schedule,
Trying.
but it's not as good as I would like it to be. So
We'll talk
like-
to him tomorrow.
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, we'll talk to him tomorrow. In
He
the
was-
beginning, we were able to, in the beginning, I set it up and I told him I wanted to do nothing but Oakview. Then, of course, I was away on vacation and he did everything but.
I didn't realize there was carpet. I didn't realize there was so many different
141.
that's got carpet and.
Yeah.
I would walk
Well,
around
it's
and
not-
my goodness. Sorry.
And that's some of the reason we had issues below, because some of the materials either covered up cracks where the moisture got in below, or places like carpet retained water, and it caused the issues below. But we know that they're all firm, steady, and secure. That's the main thing. But now the thing is to protect them.
I'm not sure if this involved us in this particular area, but you were aware of the garbage pickup situation over in Oak? Where,
Garbage and steps. Well, I'm sorry.
The issue is that they couldn't lift the container.
Yeah.
because it had so
No,
much
they could
stuff.
lift it. They didn't want to move it out.
Oh,
We gave the contractors the right to use
excellent.
the dumpsters in the clusters, not for poly pebble, but we did, or pavers, but they could use it for any other material. And the garbage guys, they had to just move it a little bit harder, so we've been moving it for them.
I just wondered, since we're talking to this guy,
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
okay, good, because I got a complaint.
Yep,
Complain to.
yeah,
$800
Scott Huff sent me one too, yeah.
Of course.
Do you think for building committee, maybe we'll know more about the schedule then, or do you think it'll be sort of?
No, we're gonna know more tomorrow, or, if the very latest Thursday.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Gus, are you having any trouble hearing people talk?
It's better today, actually.
Okay,
We're back on the old
we're
system.
back on the old system, Chris, those speakers,
It's not breaking up.
okay, good, that's
I-
why.
Was that Tiffany that was just talking?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I could understand her and I could clear enough, I could tell whose voice it was.
there you go.
But you should move that.
Might, tell you something about those speakers. Who knows? All right, I just wanted to ask. Electrical repairs.
Okay, did they finish yesterday over by you with 137?
They're there now, we're good.
Okay. Again, and we've got a new one, another one failed,
Springdale,
Springdale,
yeah.
which seemed like we're losing one a week lately. But, the wiring is, falling apart.
Yeah.
So, we've done 5 in the last month and a half. And, like I said, doing one right now at 137. And then, we've got to put Bernie Scarpelletti on the list now.
Yeah.
So,
So we're doing this on an as needed as opposed to getting proactive about it then, right?
well, it's close to $4,000 to $5,000 each. Yeah, we are.
Don't fix it.
You have to just a lot of money for it.
Okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And I got one of those things from, Florida Power.
Mhm.
half price. About $249 a month for the next year, and then $5 a month
But for what?
for coverage on the electric outside of the unit.
I got that letter too.
But if you read in there, it says something about associations. It says single family home. So I was gonna call and ask, because for $249, I'd take it out myself, and when mine goes, it'd be free. So I'm still gonna call and ask. But I did read it in there, it said something about associations.
That's the teeny tiny thing.
Yeah. I don't wanna go and pay for something and then have it fail and it's, oh, no, you can't. Cover it.
Make
But
sure I
anyway.
never tell you.
So I mean, I'm gonna check into that. Cause that might. I mean, I'm willing to pay it, but maybe some people wouldn't. All right.
Some people don't pick up hoses.
Pickleball and tennis court project. We're on track. They said they're gonna start August 1st. I still have not signed the second contract. I signed the one for the tennis courts, but the pickleball courts we're still tinkering with. Because the way he wrote the contract the first time, is not what they talked about the second time. And, as far as the sloping. And now he wants to put holes in the wall to let the water go out of the courts. But if the lake overflows, water's gonna come right back through.
Yeah.
So we're gonna call him right after the meeting. We met with him yesterday and he came up with another idea. And then last night I woke up in the middle of the night and said, that's not gonna work.
The money's not gonna change.
Now,
Would that start August 1 too?
Yeah, yeah.
Have we talked to Spring Lakes about,
John's gonna call the management company and check with them. Wildwood too is not a problem.
yeah,
I know all those people, that couple that play over here. So we'll have places to play. We're gonna remind Spring Lakes that, when their courts were not even usable, they used ours. And then when theirs was under construction, they all used ours.
So they're empty these days.
And yeah, there's nobody using them these days, but for reasons that few of us know, I'm not gonna be the one to make that call. That'll be John. All right, what's next? Bulk debris pickup proposal. Well, we're gonna skip that.
We'll skip that for today's meeting
Yeah.
or for the next meeting.
Do we take it off the agenda then, or?
I would take it off the agenda, because I think at this point, let's fill it up, have it emptied. And see what happens.
Okay. I mean,
We can bring it up next month.
it has been talked about. I mean, if we left it on, we could at least put it to bed saying that
For now.
put some work into it.
Yeah, we can do that.
So,
Why can't we do status of?
yeah,
Status of, okay.
Yeah.
Because it's you designated an ad hoc committee.
For Gus and Chris that aren't here, we figured out just today that this open top dumpster that we have out here, we don't pay for the dumps. We just pay rent on the container. So we can call them and get them to empty it, hope until we abuse that too much, and then they might say we're gonna charge you per dump, but right now they just charge us rent. So if we can get them to dump it twice a month, we should maybe be okay.
should be able to keep ahead of it. And we had just an extraordinary amount of bulky furniture
Yeah.
coming in. It was crazy.
just the Northerners leaving.
What are we
Complain about something.
1388, I think.
Do they come regularly twice a month?
Well, they come, they sort of,
It
when
used
the
to be,
chain is up, they can't get in, and they'll come after hours a lot of times and then say, well, we couldn't pick it up. That's been our issue.
1383 a month we're paying.
Yeah, 1383 a month is what we're paying for the rental, so, which isn't bad.
No,
sad part about the situation is for 7 or 8 years, there's been no issue whatsoever.
Yeah.
And if there's still an issue with them getting out more than once a month. So I'm working on that part.
Okay.
Right?
we should encourage some of the people getting rid of mattresses and furniture.
No, otherwise,
Cycle them.
that's why I think that it would be good just
I
to
think
have it
so.
on the
I
agenda where
agree.
people see it.
Okay. Bulk debris. The tree in the wall, we spent most of the day down there yesterday. The tree is gone. I was supposed to grind the stump today or tomorrow.
Tomorrow, they worked almost 8.5 hours. I mean, that was a big undertaking.
Yeah.
It's one of the largest trees he's ever taken down.
And they had Mr. Brown here himself running the truck.
Yeah.
This is it.
And
Out of
so
curiosity, were they able to salvage any of the lumber or anything out of that? That was pretty nice wood, I think. It's oak.
no, it goes all over the dump.
No call for firewood.
No, not yet.
What,
Termites.
which is also interesting too, that he was telling me the dump fees that used to be about $17 a ton are now $35 a ton.
Anyway, that's underway and we'll have a happy resident down there.
Last time I checked, it was $40 a ton.
Really? So he may be getting a deal.
You might be getting it.
Probably, yeah. Drainage project.
Okay, that's behind the west coast, the west of the D cluster. It's two-part construction. The northern half has been completed. What happened is that basically if you have an alley this way, and it's the length of 8 units maybe, all the water was funneled this way south. And then it collected toward the units here. Obviously, some of the units also have blocked scuppers that they're going to have to unblock. But we've now taken the pump that's up here and turned the water back up to the north into a lower area. So half of the water will now not be, all the water won't be coming down the spillway.
Right.
Half of it's going the other way. We still have to clear this area, bringing it down. But I think right now we're in good shape, right, if we'd had a big storm.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of tidying up the
north
bottom,
side.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, we had to rent a backhoe, I guess is what
Guess
you
the
call
guys
it.
had fun playing with that, huh?
Yeah. And then we went around and cleared about 7 other spillways while we had it. And so, that's why you might see some ditches that you didn't see before, but this will help the flooding everywhere. And we pastured some good ones right into the lake by the pickleballs. So it go fill up faster.
Did Mr. Flood know? Did he let us know?
But,
Part of it's
let's-
done, yes.
let's put it, we've been in, Mr. Garrity and Mr. Flood have been constant communication.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I have a question on old business.
Yeah.
Are we going to bring up the camera issue, the fact that the cameras work and that we have proposals for fixing the boxes and?
Well, I wouldn't know if that'd be old or new business since we kind of,
It's tied in.
that's why I left it open
Okay.
to put there if you, where you want to put it.
Okay, because Spectrum is going to give us the free for
Yes.
the cameras.
Another question in regards to old business. At the last meeting, I brought up the situation in regards to the claim and payment by our bulk insurance company to a certain individual. And we were gonna check and see how that happened without our permission.
Yeah, we checked and I thought it got out, but I was bluntly told that it wasn't worth their fight. So they just paid it.
I would like to see that in writing so that we don't end up with a precedent that has been set in place.
We have no choice. I mean,
I had the same.
I'll get it in writing, but,
But it wasn't paid by us. It was paid
No,
out
no,
by
That's what I
insurance.
wanna see.
I had the same
No,
thing
we-
happen. My dog bit a dog groomer. And the dog groomers, workman's compensation, said they were gonna sue me for the cost of the medical treatment. And my insurance man said, hey, we're not gonna argue, we're just gonna pay. It's cheaper for them to pay.
Unfortunately,
I didn't want them to pay either, but he said it's cheaper to pay.
now we will pay a portion of it because we pay
deductible.
a deductible, but we'd be paying a deductible whether there was or not.
Well,
This
will that
issue,
increase our insurance?
Of course it will.
this issue
I
really
think that
comes to
somebody
a
needs to
point
know
where
that.
we have
No, John made it, Joe,
we are
that was not
liable for
acceptable,
that portion
and
of
we were not happy
the
with that.
condo, and yet our insurance company has said they will pay for it. So I think that opens a wide door
It
there.
does, it does.
And I don't know where we're going with that, but I sure as hell hate this part. So I sure don't want to see a continuous mass of claims against our insurance companies for their problems.
Well, I'm afraid, John, from how this transpired and other things have been transpiring, that it's not going our way at all. As a matter of fact, it's been our position here for, well, since even before me, that if there's an accident, like a water break or a water heater or something like that, the people with the problem had to remove the debris and everything. Our attorney has now said to us, you're responsible for all of it, so we're gonna have higher claims and higher costs on every one of these incidents.
Should we be looking at our rules and regulations or more?
It's statute driven. Nothing we can do.
What if the unit owner never shut off the water while they were away? It doesn't, there's no coverage.
The new statutes, you can go back against the owner, but you're gonna have to lay the money out. Okay, in other words, let's take 651. It just, I mean, that's where it all came to a head because they called in Servpro, and Servpro wanted like $22,000. And I just said, no. And fortunately, the owners bought an insurance policy with an internal limit of $3,000 on water damage. Well, why anybody would do that? Well, I know why people do it. They do it because they pay less premiums. But why should the association be liable for the difference because they're saving $100 or whatever they're saving? And so that's the reason I was fighting it. And that's why we had to go to the attorney because the Servpro said they wanted to sue us. And I said, why? And he said, Florida law, and they're right, Florida law says the owners of 718, you own the inside of the paint.
Yes.
So therefore, the walls are the associations, which we already knew we had to replace. But now we found out that we have to tear down too.
So they're the ones that they never shut off the water.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they had renters coming or
The
something,
wrenches were already gone too.
where they didn't turn it on, yeah.
Well, the owners.
When I read all the information that we have in our rules and regulations, it says paint to paint. And whatever happens, paint to paint is the only problem. And in this instance, it was not paint to paint, it was outside of the paint area.
No, no,
It was paint to paint
Well,
that
we
was
go
paint.
against the Florida statute, either way, but no matter what our rules
Yeah.
say. It is.
Yeah,
So then it negates
the water heater's inside the paint,
Yeah, well,
but
well,
the effect, it affects what the associated common, the walls are considered common now.
Talking about the furniture, the paint,
Well, they're responsible for their furniture.
on 554.
Oh, yeah, on all of it, any of it.
Okay, so that $7,000 had nothing to do with furniture or.
Oh, you're talking about 519?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sure it did.
Well, you see where that's.
But they would fight it. I mean, she claimed the bureau, she
Yeah.
claimed the carpeting, she claimed the paint, all of which we know we're not responsible for, but the insurance company said it's not worth their time to fight the
I
claim.
hate to bring this up, but that's felony theft, too, when you consider the fact that responsibility.
I know one thing, John, you told her.
On behalf of the board here, I will apologize to you for my.
Don't do it on behalf of the
Don't
board.
do it on
I say that,
All
but.
right, moving along.
I'm sorry. Yes, thank you very much. I'm concerned.
It's very,
You know, we've got things so defined in the past. I don't know if we're changing that
the
definition.
statutes changed. It used to be the only responsibility the association had was for load bearing walls. And then somebody would get a bathroom leak and wanted to know why only the outside wall, and they had to pay the 3 inside walls. And there was arguments, and there was this, and so the state in 2011 came in and said, you got it all.
This actually brings up a good point then. If the walls are common, then let's say somebody goes into renovate their condo and decides to take out a non-load bearing wall, do they need now building committee permission to do that?
I suppose we could ask for it. I mean,
Usually somebody doing a really big renovation, they come and talk
Well, a
to
lot of
us.
the kitchen walls have come
Yeah,
out, and I did it, and you know, you said just load bearing walls,
Yeah.
you can't touch those.
right.
That, years ago, I just.
Well, when you look at it from that framework, you're right. You know, they are taking out association material, but they're also not asking us to replace it. So, you know, they're doing it.
It's an elective thing. It's
Yeah.
really all it is, so, okay, so you don't think there's an issue there? Okay.
I have a statement.
okay. Yeah, Tammy?
You all know that I go to CAM meetings and I'm the one CAM meeting that I went to. They're actually bringing up that the courts and the statutes are all pushing towards owners, and they're, I don't want to say against associations, but they're finding see all the TikTok and the commercials about how HOA board members are so mean to the owners. And, they're saying, you need to do this and you need, this is a violation and this is a violation. Well, the courts are doing more in favor of the owners and going against the associations more and more. Tallahassee come out with a whole bunch of statutes.
Yeah, that's how like this too, kind of.
Yeah, a bunch on the associations. It's really kind of sad, and it's all a lot to do with the east side situation.
Well, the owners don't realize that they're ending up paying for it anyway. And their maintenance fees.
Insurance, fees.
Two plus two equals four.
Yep.
As we review this situation, I'd like to be sure that we review our D and O insurance.
That's all. That's done yearly.
I know it's done, but I don't know if we have to look at it differently anymore because everything else is changing. So that's something that I think we should make sure that we're careful with.
Directors and officers, it's protection for any votes that you might make.
That has been, let me know. New legislation that came out.
Yeah,
We can do it under.
well, we got D and E to put in, you know, we're still, where are we? We're still,
Yeah,
we're still at drainage B.
Which is the best discussion.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get on to that. Communicate.
All right, there'll be a couple of communications that we brought forward.
All right. Our annual tree trimming, coming up, talked around yesterday and.
Tree
in
trimming
a couple of weeks.
will be commencing in probably the last week of July, depending on weather, or the first week in August. I know that there was some issues about what's to be cut, what's not to be cut. I know that the landscape hardwoods in guesses and the 4 trees in there. Yep. And so that's taken care of. So there's no reason why we can't go on as we did last year, but that's, you know.
Yeah, no, I think last year we didn't have any complaints from residents this year, like the year before, we got hammered. Pretty happy. We have saved a lot, touching the carrot wood, so that'll save us a bunch. Yeah, you guys did a great job.
And that was $400 a piece, and they did at least 20 of them.
Yeah. So. We'll be fine on budget. So.
I don't know if he was there. I think he moved his car. I don't know if he was there. We were concentrating on the big tree, but we swung over
Yeah,
there
we
a couple times.
didn't watch them cut all, so all the dead wood.
What did they do?
They did a good job, I think.
Yeah, Dan was there.
Okay, thank you.
All right, very good.
walls, are they going to be done here on the Moss?
Yeah, we've definitely been waiting to do that. Particularly toward the vegetation is, yes.
The whole east side that happened, there's like a lot of things about what associations can do and what they shouldn't forego. And just an interesting thing came up about the painting helps seal walls. So we're foregoing to cleaning them on our own. What is that, like, are we just aware that we're foregoing a type of sealant type coverage for in lieu of let's clean the walls? But we might be taking off the paint in that process.
Well, we don't do heavy pressure. We do a light drip, which certainly protects the paint.
Yeah, they're not
If you-
pressure washing, they're just hosing it down after they spray it with the chemical.
If you were to talk to some painters, they would say it's time to do it.
Of course.
Some painters would say, you know, I mean, and we're trying to get the money, you know, for those who have not heard of this, the last time we did it was $545,000. Best bid so far I'm getting is $750. I mean, so the paint materials are going on site, but you protect the buildings better, you got a point. You know, we had a 10-year warranty, and I think we're in 11 years on the paint.
We're 11 years, I guess.
Hopefully.
And you know more about
Trying
paint.
to read that tomorrow.
Thanks for
I mean, next year.
I know
Yeah.
we'll probably get into this during the budget. We just will start first in a year or two, or however.
Yeah, no, we're not trying to go down the road 5 years. Ahead. If we can get 2 years
Another year or
extra.
two.
Yeah.
What do you think,
I
Dan?
don't see where a couple. Mills paint, this. Even if you blow a couple mils off with a brush.
Yeah, and every time we do
That is
paint,
gonna
we're
make
painting over
zero
the old
difference in
paint,
my-
so we got.
I could do
layers
some
there.
research on that, but I think that's
Yeah.
absolutely.
You'll bring us another 3-4 pages.
Yeah.
Cut a tree down, go ahead.
All right, maintenance fee collection issue.
All right, this is something that propped up out of the middle of nowhere and it's just frustrating. Somehow or another, the company that takes our maintenance fees automatically on 30 people only took out $100. Yeah, they took out full. They took out a full amount of 80%. And so I can't get an answer why yet. But so far, we've been contacting the people and they've been very nice about saying, okay, I'll write you a check for the difference. So we're working through it. It's just frustrating as heck because there was no change. I mean, I personally was the one that because of the newness of the girls and everything like that, I learned how to do it all. And I moved the new fees in place to be collected. I did all this. And somehow the numbers, nobody can explain why, but it took 32 people, $100 on. It's never happened before.
A discount.
A discount, yeah, that's only about $1,700 discount. Yeah. So we're working on it. We're working on it. So that's, I want to let everybody know what's going on. Now we got,
D&E to be determined.
yeah, but, Pam wanted to talk about the,
camera and the boxes and there is a proposal out there. I don't know, did you got a copy of it?
yeah, I think there's a couple proposals out there. To refurbish the camera boxes so they'll be protective of the equipment when the equipment goes back in.
And that would be,
About $6,000.
yeah, it wasn't even 74 that we were talking about
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
And then that will include then, I think, programming. Once Spectrum comes in and gives us the internet, that will include the programming of the camera. So
The only question is it premature to do it now, or do you want to get the boxes done? And there's no reason why you can't put it on the agenda, or you can wait.
yeah, I think maybe put it on the agenda and we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you sign the Spectrum contract?
Yay.
El Presidente.
Yeah.
Put their internet on our computer.
Downstairs.
And we got a month early.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna go October 1. So that gives us an additional $5,500 worth of savings. And we will not have a price increase next year. So we're really getting 15 months. At the low.
So now do we need to set up an implementation program for our field?
When are we getting those?
Well, there's some decisions to be made, and I've been talking to the person who's going to be coordinating this, and they say, you know, the fact that you get 2 boxes or 1 extender or whatever the Ramos is, or what is it, what they call the other thing? I don't know.
Super box.
Yeah, the people are going to have to make the decision
Where they want.
as the conversion.
Yeah,
That's October, and I'll be gone for a long period of time during that. Oh, yeah, you'll be involved in
Oh,
it.
thanks, y'all.
No, that's gonna be an interesting time, because it was about 7 years ago, we had to go through the same thing, and people had to come in and get boxes, and remember that, John?
I think I just keep my boxes.
Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah,
it.
I mean, if people are confused about it, go with the basic
Yeah.
stuff to start with.
Sure.
And then, so that they can continue their cable, with no issue.
And they are going to offer us a tutorial on using the Zoomos for anybody interested, correct?
Zumos, there you go, that's right.
Where were you, John?
I'm still back.
Right over his head.
It's zoomed right over your head. isn't it?
What's my big cell?
All right, what about E? Do we have anything on that?
Barbara has things she wants.
So,
Go ahead, Bob.
one of the things maybe we could gotten the proposals about the status of it? Or if there's
Uh, They're certainly let in because they're supposed to have them this week.
that would be good.
All
Then
right.
maybe the board can approve whatever better proposal is. Or what you think is.
Hey, John,
I filled out extensive
Okay,
questionnaire.
Gus.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Gus.
can you repeat Barbara's, I couldn't understand her. I
yeah,
couldn't hear.
she's talking about reserve schedules, I'm not reserve schedule, I'm sorry. We've put in the reserves, to get a reserve study. But it seems like that, maybe we'll want to do it sooner than the 2 years we're going to collect for it. And certainly we want to be prepared at least to know what the price is. So I've contacted a local company that does it. And I contacted a statewide company that does it. And the proposal is supposed to be forthcoming this week.
Okay, all right, thanks.
So the other thing I wanted to bring up was every couple of you, I think you, John, passed around a link about the new legislation that was passed. So quite a few of these affect the board, and correct me if I'm wrong, or if nobody's read yet, that.
Can you hear Gus?
Not really.
Did you just pass that speaker as far as it was going?
About as far as I'm going.
I think that's it. Gus, can you hear me better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, so I'm bringing up about, John passed around a link to the board members about the new legislation that was passed recently by DeSantis. And there's a few things that affects the boards or associations. And one of them is about that we have to maintain on the website all, who is it? Andrew Penny brought up in an email. And I just thought maybe the board should just talk about that. You might want to designate an ad hoc committee to define what those are. And then create a process in place for making sure they get on the website, that they're available there.
What don't we have on the website? I mean, all of our.
Well, this is defined by the statute. What does the statute say are official?
Okay, yeah,
documents?
that's what I'd like to see because,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We just want to make sure we're going to be in compliance with that.
oh, sure.
Okay, next was, the boards, if anybody's missing your board certificates, that was another thing that was in the statute, that you gotta make sure that anybody who's on the board has their certificates.
Or
They-
they shot
I
it
just-
down.
The
I
one
just
thing
went to the website.
I read one thing that said you have to have, new classes
I'm getting
every
to that.
year.
I'm getting to that. The website, there are two people missing certificates on the website, Gus and Karen.
I got mine.
Karen got
So if it's just a matter of updating the
Yeah.
website.
Gus, do you
You
have a
have-
copy of your certificate?
Honestly, don't even know what it is.
All right, you're
Oh.
done, you're done.
You're done.
Oh, gee, thanks.
All right, we'll get it. There's a class, Gus, it's a 3-hour class that is supposed to be taken by everybody.
It's required now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's always
Always been
required.
Is it online?
What's different in the new
Yeah,
legislation?
well,
Did you do yours online?
It's the additional.
it's
Yes,
the
but
additional stuff. that's
They're,
there.
they're
I'm
coming
getting to
out
that
with
too.
one that's gonna.
It's required.
Yeah.
18.
Anyway, we'll get you when you get back, Gus.
Okay, cool. That's not a problem.
They have it, they give them regularly.
Yeah.
Local attorneys
You
Okay,
can do it online too.
probably can. I'll see if we can find you one online.
I did it
on
online.
Zoom.
Okay.
I did it online. I remember doing it online. It was very
Okay.
easy to.
You don't have to go anywhere.
Take
They do it on
breaks.
Zoom. All right, the last thing is about there's a requirement that every board member has to do 1 hour of classwork to do with whatever they can get. It's called a CPE credit. It's worth 1 hour annually.
My retired.
And now my question to follow up on that is, will the association pay? Because a lot of these, they're not always free. You know, some of them might cost some money, so
Take the ones that are free.
depends what you can get, right? So
whatever it is, if it counts, take it, if it's free. I mean, it's,
Yeah, but you're required to do it and it's not free. That's what she.
You might want to do
there
a
are-
free landscaping one, but that has nothing to do with me. I might want to do a financial one. Yeah, so that might cost $60. So it depends probably what your,
Why don't we find out what these things are and what they cost, and then we get you.
What are they?
I know, I'm sure for camps, you guys have to do, you have to do annual CPs and the association pays for that. They're not always free.
No, very rare, they're free, but you're right, and the association pays for mine,
Right.
you know, I already taken mine for the year. Cams are every other year.
What do you have to do, an hour? or-
No, I got, 18 hours, I think it
Oh,
is,
wow.
yeah, so, but they're all taken. I've already done.
When does this requirement start?
I think it's.
July 1.
Yeah.
Yes, once they signed it in the law, you got a year to do it. Yeah.
So we have to do it by next June.
I wanted to look at that because,
Yeah.
Barbara, you may have read it more in depth, but I was under the understanding it was HOA people and not.
The 718, yeah.
It's 718, okay,
Yeah, there were three parts to
Yeah.
that whole thing.
Yeah,
I
payment.
skipped over HOA. I'm not even going.
well, would those things that Tammy takes count? They should,
Sam,
Well,
she's
depends on what
really
it
good because she does them as part of camp, don't you?
yeah.
I do, I go to
But
most
you
of the
pay
camp
for,
meetings.
do you pay for that?
No.
Yeah.
she gets free lunch
I get
too.
free lunch, but I'm saying, wouldn't a CAM meeting count as education?
Yeah.
It should.
Well,
They have
no,
to-
it depends, there's always specific,
They have to say that they're supplying CPE credits.
in other words, for my license, for my license, I have to take X amount of hours, but most of it is prescribed because they haven't, like, last year was mostly insurance. And this year it was something else, you know, so.
Yeah, the statute does say that it has to, I'm sure camps will fall under it for sure. But the statute does say just can't be, you're gonna sit for an hour and tell me all about, reserves.
Right.
I can do that because I went to that damn camp
It
meeting.
has to be
was
some
boring.
kind of qualified,
Lunch.
I know.
some qualified company
Great
that
review.
And
is
he's
providing.
cooking.
No, that they're doing.
John,
Yes,
You will.
is this the same legislation that mandated that we have to have pickups, allow owners to park pickups in the association?
you are,
You're breaking
you're
up,
breaking
Chris.
up, Chris.
Oh,
Try it again.
yeah, I thought there was, in this legislation, there was something about mandating that anyone who has a personal vehicle that's a pickup should be able to park it in their parking spot at the association.
That's HOA, not,
HOA only.
So
not condo.
DeSantis and the legislator signed off on or approved a whole series of legislations to do with associations, whether they're HOAs, co-ops, and condos. So.
Yeah, that particular one did not.
So we've had several questions about that, though. You're on target with that question. And we've actually got a challenge by someone who now says he should be able to put his motorcycle here too. So, I don't know if we told it last night or not.
I don't know. I didn't look this morning,
Okay.
but somebody, excuse me, somebody will tell us, or everybody, if we have to take the course before next June.
There will be plenty of
Time.
communication, yeah.
Okay. Very good.
All right, so just want to make everybody ready.
Thank you.
You'll take it on pickleball rules, probably.
Yes, oh, absolutely. I'll be on top of
I'll
that.
sell some of mine.
That's only half.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Well, when you find one that has offers a CPE, let me know.
All right. Anything else? Got Managers report,
Are the lunch and learns?
committee reports, director's comments.
I got a little one.
Okay,
Mainly to the people in Pinehurst. If the landscape committee decided to do an offset for the tree that was taken down to put in some new trees in areas, if there were any, since you guys live there, if there are any, preferred areas that you would like to see plantings, or, if there's areas you prefer to leave clear. Anyways, thought we would get a beat on the people who live there to see what you think, and if you'd like anything, just something to mull over.
That's what it's about.
Just a little alleyway there.
Well, it doesn't have to be in the alleyway, just figuring that they would deserve it in their area, get first dibs if they want, even on the entryway coming in, or, whatever works for you.
Okay.
But no pressure. We are always replanting in other areas. Wanted to give you that.
I've got another palm tree to give out.
I want one. The our unclaimed fund was approved, so the check is in the mail. We didn't get it yet.
I've heard those stories before.
Check's in the mail.
Yeah,
So
that's good. That's great. That's good news.
But the state approved it. So
Yeah, the
Great.
state approved that.
No, it hasn't been received yet.
You understand that, I guess?
No, I didn't hear it.
Remember the money that Barbara said the state had that we had to
Claim.
claim,
Unclaimed funds.
unclaimed funds?
Oh,
They approved it and the check's in the mail.
How much is that?
3,000.
much.
Thousand something.
335.
35.
Woohoo.
All right.
It's coming back.
36.58.
Coming back from some kind of deal with the natural gas companies.
Hey, did you ever get those? Remember you were waiting for? No.
They changed it. It had to do with profits. In the beginning, yeah, that's true too, but in the beginning, it looked like it was for those who kept people working and those who remunerated people who were off qualified. And then the Congress got in the middle of it and said, well, let's get rid of that quick and just pay the people who didn't make any money. And our revenues were the same,
Yeah, but we're nonprofit, so that shouldn't.
that's why we didn't qualify.
But we still paid the people.
And I was told we would be over 100,000 if we
I
did
know.
qualify, but when they
That's-
changed it, they changed it.
That's just, okay.
But we do have a little bit of money coming from Spectrum.
Oh, that's right.
When's the next workshop?
Our next meeting is Monday,
Right, but next workshop is.
would be the second Tuesday, August, hold on a second.
Budget? Next Monday.
Monday budget,
Budget is Monday morning.
13th, second Tuesday.
13th of August.
That's the
It's a
worst.
board meeting. I think that's the.
That makes the board meeting what?
The 19th.
Yep, 19.
19th. We're still here.
Yep. All right, any other comments? Anybody?
Thank you all.
Thank you. We're adjourned.
Thank you all.
See y'all.
Chris?
Yeah.